Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. We are live in Dubai covering the Asia Cup, and today, actually, it's already today. It's going to be India versus Sri Lanka. It's a must-win game for Team India. They're playing against a Sri Lankan team who have 2 points already on the board in the Super Fours and are looking confident. India, of course, losing on Sunday to Pakistan. They just had a one-day rest and they're back at it now, and they'll have to play a high-pressure game against Sri Lanka. It's not going to be an easy game for India. Sri Lanka have a lot of confidence. They have two quality spinners and they have batsmen who are chipping in. They don't rely only on one batsman. If you look at the top five, someone or the other is contributing. You have Nisanka, Kusal Mendes, Asalanka, Gunatilaka, Rajapaksa, one or two, like all of them actually, like three out of four, three out of five in each game are they're chipping in with very good strike rates and some important runs. And you saw in the last two games against Bangladesh and Afghanistan, they did really well to chase the scores, and they were big scores, and they had no issues. So if India do bat first, they'll have to bat really well, try to get close to 200, and then bowl excellent as well. I felt that India were in the game against Pakistan till the end, but sloppy fielding, of course, some poor bowling as well. Bhuvneshwar Kumar in his penultimate over, he got hit for 19. So there are things over there that they will have to improve on. Batting wise as well, it's all well and good, this attacking approach, but at the same time, with that attacking approach, you should make sure you don't make silly mistakes and lose your wicket, because I felt that if Kohli got that support, India could have got 200. But at the end of the day, I still feel that they had enough runs on the board, and it's their fielding that and bowling that has to improve against Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, like I mentioned, they have two lethal spinners, Thiksana and Hasaranga, so it's not going to be easy. India found it tough against Shadab and Nawaz, and I think this is going to be a sterner test, because Hasaranga is that mystery kind of bowler. He's has that control as well, excellent spinner, and he's got more and more experience now. And Tiksana, we've seen him in the IPL. He's got that exposure. He can bowl with the new ball in the power play, and I'm sure he's going to bother the Indian batsmen. And that's going to be the challenge, I think, that Indian top order, middle order versus the Sri Lankan spinners. And if you turn it around, India's bowling has not been at full strength. You had Bumrah missing, now Jadeja also not there. Avesh Khan had some illness, so there's quite a few worries in the bowling as well. So the Sri Lankan batsmen can capitalize. And again, India will have to be good in the death overs. They'll have to field well with the new ball. They'll have to pick up wickets. I felt against Pakistan, the middle overs, they just weren't being able to pick up wickets, and that's going to be a big concern, because Juzvendra Chahal is normally known for that, but he's picked up, I think, only one wicket in 3 games. And they're banking on him. He's the main strike bowler, especially with other bowlers missing. And if he can't pick you wickets, then it's going to be difficult for you to win games. And I think that's the area of concern for India. They'll need Chahal to improve. They'll need Bhuvi to improve in the death as well. And if they can do that, India will have a good chance of winning. Again, I think a lot will rely on Surya Kumar and Hardik Pandya, because these guys are impact players. The way they play their cricket, they play at a very high strike rate, and if they can score runs, then India will have a much better chance of winning, because they score at a very rapid pace, and it will hurt the opposition. Saw Kohli yesterday. I felt he batted beautifully. He didn't get the support required, but his strike rate wasn't as lethal as maybe a Surya or a Hardik Pandya's thing. So that's why you need Kohli to play the same role that he's playing, but you have to have that support from the other batsmen, and they need to stick with them till the end for India to do well in this game. The players to watch out for me, I think from Sri Lanka, I'm going to go Rajapaksa. I just feel that he is that what do you call it, impact player. He's that wild card. You don't know what's going to happen with him, and he can take the game away from you. He can clear the boundary with ease. Plays attacking aggressive cricket. Can pierce the field as well. Finds the gaps also, and very good timing. So Rajapaksa is one player that I am looking forward to playing. And from the bowling perspective, I'll probably go with Hasaranga. From India's point of view, with the bat, I'm probably going to, if Rishabh Pant plays, I'm going to go Rishabh Pant. Again, it's going to be interesting to see if it's between Rishabh Pant and Dinesh Karthik who plays. I just feel that because Hasaranga turns the ball away from the right-hander, Pant should be there to break that up. I think they should play Akshar Patel as well. Maybe Bishnoi will sit out, but I think Akshar Patel and Pant both should play to try and counter that. And you saw Pakistan had that with Khushdil and Nawaz. Nawaz batted beautifully. They countered, the leg spin of India. And I think India will have to do the same thing with Pant and Akshar Patel. I think Pant will be key. If he's there in that middle order, maybe he can be promoted up the order as well and try to counter the Sri Lankan spinners. And that's why I feel that he's going to play a crucial role with India for the ball. with the ball, I'm going to go Chahal. I think he's going to be the key player. He has to start taking wickets in those middle overs and apply pressure on the opposition, and that's why for me he's going to be the key bowler from India's point of view. I think it's 60-40 in India's favor. The reason I say that is because in recent history India have had a very good record against Sri Lanka, and more often than not they do dominate them. But again, I'm giving Sri Lanka 40 because I feel that this Sri Lankan team is running high on confidence. They're getting used to these Dubai conditions and they're becoming a bit more lethal as a side, as a unit. There's not going to be as much pressure. There's always going to be more pressure on India, and that's why I do give Sri Lanka a chance to win this game. But I think India are 60-40 favorites, and let's see what happens tomorrow. Really excited for the game. Hopefully, it's going to be a close match. Both sides playing some quality cricket. Hopefully, it's going to be hot as well. In the night, it's going to be 35 degrees, so it's not going to cool down too much in the night. That means dew might not be there, and if you're batting first, you can defend. Apart from the Hong Kong games, I don't think any side has defended successfully, but it's been closer than we saw in the T20 World Cup last year, and that's because of the lack of dew. And I feel that you can, as the tournament progresses, if the dew does not come up, you will see targets getting defended, especially if you get 190 plus, 180 plus. I think they will start being defended because I think the pitches will slow down. They'll assist the spinners and the fast bowlers. Those variations will be key as well. Those cutters and everything on these pitches will be key, and I think that's where, from India's point of view, Arshdeep will be very crucial. And just a word on Arshdeep, but it was a dolly that he dropped, but this is cricket. We've seen so many drop catches like these in the past. Yes, it was a crucial time. It impacted the game, but that doesn't mean he gets targeted with unnecessary abuse. Whatever happens in the game. That's it. Yes, he has to work on his catching, but he doesn't require. He doesn't deserve any abuse or anything like that. He's a cricketer. He's a professional. He's trying his best. It's an India-Pakistan game. You should have seen the atmosphere in the stadium. You could cut it with a knife, and and in that situation, the easiest of catches will be dropped. There will be mistakes happening. Fakhar Zaman dropped a catch and he gave 8 runs in the last 2 balls. Gave India bonus runs. If it wasn't for Fakhar Zaman's dropping, the game would have finished. Pakistan would have chased the score a bit more easily. So drop catches happen from both teams. It's just that it was at that stage where India could have gotten back into the game and applied the pressure on Pakistan. That's why it was over amplified, which is fine. But you can't, abuse somebody about that. It happens. Drop catches happen. The simplest things happen. Doesn't deserve unnecessary swearing or abusing. He just needs to. He learned from that. He's probably the most upset guy in the world. So, as soon as that happened, I was watching him. I had an eye on him, his reaction and stuff. You could see that he was stunned. His teammates were trying to console him even before the match even finished, while the other over was going on. He still came back and he showed the heart. He bowled that last over. And credit to him for taking that match to the last ball. But yeah, of course, India have to improve the fielding. Arshdeep has to improve the fielding, but I recommend that people don't abuse anything like that. He doesn't deserve that much. Whereas if you look at, and also I feel that that's what I was saying. My point was, as the tournament progresses, I think these cutters and stuff will be useful, and I think that's where Arshdeep will be effective, and Bhuvneshwar Kumar as well. And they have to be key in the depth. They have to be very, very disciplined against Sri Lanka, especially because Sri Lanka do have some wild card players, power players like Rajapaksa. Even Mendes up top, he will come at you. They will be aggressive. Sri Lanka, they're not going to play conservative cricket, and they have this approach that if one person gets out, the other ones continues to attack, and they're putting the opposition on the back foot, and they'll continue to do that even against India. And if conditions suit them, and if it's a good batting track, it's not going to be easy against these batsmen, and that's where India will have to be careful. But let's see what happens. It's going to be a cracker. Hopefully, India will have to win. If they lose, they're depending on other results, and it look unlikely that they will make the finals. They basically have to beat Sri Lanka and Afghanistan to have a chance of qualifying, and they'll probably qualify if they win the next 2 games. But if they don't, they'll probably be out, and that's why it's a knockout game kind of for India. And let's see what happens tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We'll get you the latest updates from the Asia Cup and much more. Thank you so much and take care.